Hi fellas, AC here. Welcome to my channel, Smells Good. And today I've got an absolutely stunning fragrance for you. It's called Icon by Dunhill. I have to be honest with you, this is a new house for me. I have never actually purchased or used any of the Dunhill fragrances. I understand they are mediocre. Yeah? The only one which I've heard good things about is called 1934, which I haven't tried. But this one has changed my opinion. It will definitely change your opinion. Now let's start by looking at the presentation. So here it is. So friends, here is the presentation. The actual bottle comes in a box which has a sleeve. Yeah. So that's how it looks. It's kind of a grey kind of a box with textures on it. It's a beautiful box. I quite like the whole presentation. I like the idea. It's beautiful. Dunhill Fragrances, London, and this is 100 ml. So that's the sleeve. It's a transparent kind of a sleeve, and it's a lovely presentation. In terms of the bottle is a very thick kind of a hammer-like. It's a basically, you can use this as a weapon. It's that heavy. Yeah. On the top you have this black lacquered Dunhill logo, and the beautiful thing about this is, look at that. Look at that for a presentation. It's metal top. The only way to check juice levels is by turning the bottle upside down, and it has got a stunning atomizer which I'll demonstrate in a minute. I won't waste the juice. That brings us to the end of the presentation. By the way, it comes in two configurations, 100 and 50 ml. So fellas, before I get into the review, let's talk about the Perfumer. The Perfumer is Carlos Benaim. This person has got an impressive CV. Now, again, unknown quantity to me, but I looked at his CV and he's done fragrances like Ralph Lauren Polo Green, Polo Blue, Supreme Oud, Cashmere one, and he's also done L'Homme Libre. So, not a muck with fragrances. This guy has done some really impressive fragrances. So let's start with the spray. Customary left hand dry down, and if I can get to the actual atomizer, it's, you know, it reminded me of expensive atomizers like Dior's. Big burst of juice, beautiful actually, and the moment you spray this, you know, it just knocks you off. It's just beautiful. It's like a blockbuster movie, you know, when you go to a movie which is supposed to be a blockbuster, you sit there and within the first 5-10 minutes you know that you're in for some superb entertainment. That's what this is. Top notes. Neroli, a note I really dislike. I don't like that note. But this fragrance, and there's another one which I have reviewed. It's called Acqua di Colonia by Lorenzo Villoresi. Now this one here has a blast of neroli, but what and that's the whole reason when I was testing this fragrance back in 2016, I didn't like it because I was testing on a piece of paper. I got neroli and I just said nah. But that's a mistake I made. I should have sprayed it on my skin. What the opening does is it's got a huge blast of neroli, but it's got a very fresh, sort of flowery note of bergamot. And what it is I think it's petitgrain with bergamot and some pepper, I believe. So, and then very suddenly you get this amazing tried and tested cardamom note, which you will find in La Nuit de l'Homme, which you will find in Cartier Declaration. Some people have suggested that this fragrance is a cross of Cartier Declaration and Terre d'Hermès. They're not wrong. I didn't see that until I tested it yesterday night. One hand I had Terre d'Hermès, and one hand I had Dunhill, and I could see the similarities. But we'll come to that a little later when we discuss the dry down. So the opening is extremely energetic, very, very pleasant. It's just really nice. I mean, I could not believe myself that this is Dunhill. They suddenly come up with something which is so alluring, so beautiful. I just have to say my hat's off to it. You know, that's how beautiful the opening is. Full of energy, very, very modern and classy. You know, it's really classy. So that's how the fragrance starts off. The dry down is on my left hand, excuse me. So this fragrance has a very short lifespan. I would say it's about 4 hours on my skin. I've had this for about 6 hours on my skin now, and I can barely make out. But I'll construct the middle notes for you from memory. The middle note contains an element of pepper, which I don't get very often. I only get it when it's warm. It contains a beautiful cardamom note and some lavender with a very slight hint of juniper berry. I get the juniper berry and pepper when I'm really thinking hard about the notes, and when I'm sitting in the sun and it's really hot out there. That's when I get those two spices. Otherwise it's cardamom, dominated cardamom, a little bit of lavender. That's the middle that you'll get probably in about 15-20 minutes. Let me just check my fresh spray. Yeah, there's no hint of lavender or juniper at this stage, which is about 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. The base of the fragrance doesn't change too much, but it gets a few more elements which come into play. The element which is very obvious to me is slight leather and vetiver. Again, a time-tested formula, works very well in this combination. And it also has some oud. It mentions oud. I don't get any oud. And it also mentions some iris, which means the fragrance should turn powdery. It doesn't, not on me at least. So I don't get those base elements. Now that, whole composition, if you look at the whole composition, people are comparing this to a cross between Terre d'Hermès and Cartier Declaration. Now Cartier Declaration has a note of cumin and cardamom. The cumin note puts a lot of people off, doesn't put me off, but I can see why they're saying that. If you put them on two different hands, you will see this fragrance has been built on a layer which is very similar to the Terre d'Hermès. So remove the opening of Terre d'Hermès and you take the base and then put Cartier Declaration's cardamom note on top, and whatever you're getting is a unique and beautiful, really, really nice fragrance. I can't emphasize this enough. It's a really beautiful fragrance. So that brings me to the next subject, compliment factor. This has been designed with compliments in mind. It's a major compliment magnet. I have received compliments from people who wouldn't normally appreciate fragrances. Some of my friends are not into fragrances, and even they said, what are you wearing? It smells amazing. Yeah. So one guy mentioned that it was a bit manly. It's quite a manly fragrance, and I can see why. I was actually wearing it on my shirt rather than on my skin, and in my humble opinion, I think this is best suited for fabrics. Although, be careful, because I sprayed from my jacket this morning. It's here, and you can see the stain here. And this suit it's not a cheap one. It's quite an expensive YSL, so not a dodgy fabric. So I have to make you careful if you're choosing to spray on your fabrics. It didn't leave any stain on my shirt, but it did leave a stain on my suit. So be careful about that. But I think this is designed to work best on fabrics. I don't get much longevity on my skin. I get about 4 hours is pushing it. And on my shirt, I get about 6 to 7 hours easily. It has this amazing scent bubble. It creates this amazing scent bubble, fresh. The impression it gives is a very clean, fresh, slightly soapy, and classy modern scent. You couldn't have asked for more. So that brings to occasions. Next subject is occasions. Where to wear this? I have trialed it during daytime and during summer weather. I have not tested it during winter or autumn or spring. I think this is a daytime fragrance, but it can go in a summer date-night scenario as well. It's a very versatile scent, I think. The impression I get it. You can wear this in any occasion, and any age group can pull this off. Any age group. I'm talking about 16-year-old to 90-year-old. It will suit everybody, because who doesn't like to smell clean, fresh, and classy? It's a classy scent. I wouldn't go as far as calling it elegant, because it lacks that richness. It's not a rich scent. It's a mass appeal scent. I got tons of compliments, and people who don't even care for fragrances have complimented. So you can see the compliment factor with this fragrance is huge, almost at the same level as, let's say, Dior Sauvage or Chanel's Bleu de Chanel. Those fragrances have been designed to get you compliments. Same here, for a fraction of the price. That brings me to the next subject. value for money. I got this 100 ml bottle for £37 from Nottina. Normally it is available on Nottina for about £44. So tremendous value for money, because what you're getting here is a beautiful fragrance which smells niche quality to me for £37. If you look around, you'll get it for that price. Beautiful quality, excellent juice. Now, next criteria is basically performance. So longevity, as I said, 4 hours. Sillage is strong. Yeah, if you put it on your shirt, let's say 2 sprays each side of your shirt, you sort it for about 6 hours, and the beautiful thing is it keeps pumping and then suddenly vanishes. So it doesn't die down on your skin. It'll become a skin scent after about 1 hour, and you'll still get it, but after 4 hours it's gone. Yeah, and so it's not marvelous. When it comes to your shirt, 6 hours guaranteed, but it is like a child with a lot of energy. It doesn't fizzle out. It just crashes. It's gone after 6 hours. I've tested it at least 5 to 6 times, and every time I've got 6 hours and suddenly vanishes, gone. So performance, sillage, longevity, I've discussed that. In terms of, I think I've covered all areas. All I would like to say is, you cannot fail with this fragrance. You should really try it. Don't do the mistake I did. Don't put it on a piece of paper and test it, because you will just get the very carbolic industrial smell of neroli, and that will put you off. Put it on your skin and enjoy it. And once your nose gets used to it, put it on your shirt, you will guaranteed compliments. In terms of ranking this fragrance, I think what it achieves for the price point, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. The only reason I'm stopping short of 10 out of 10 is because of the performance, and because of the fact that I've not tested it in winter. I don't have doubts in my mind that this will not work in winter, but neroli, cardamom, and black pepper, those are the notes which make you think that the juice is rich. It's not. The juice is layered in isoe. The concept of isoe is super. So it's a fluid juice. Yeah, it's not a thick syrupy juice. So I doubt that it'll have the effect that it is having on me in summer, in winter as well. I doubt it. But I'll revisit that later on. So 9 out of 10. That brings us to the end. If you did like the review, fellas, please give it a like, and please do subscribe. Thank you. AC signing off. Namaste.